Start. Okay, we are discussing the inclinations. We were talking about the two inclinations, the Yetzer Hatov and the Yetzer Hara. So how do they fit into the system? Very interesting. So we talked about last time the persons, when they're doing something, that's a dart. The person all the time the dart is working. When you're functioning normally as a human being, your dart is working. Your knowledge is working. And then behind the knowledge is your subconscious. We said the subconscious was the bina, and behind that is the chokhmah. Behind that is the chokhmah, and the chokhmah talks to the bina through visions, and the chokhmah, and unfortunately our subconscious, we're living, subconscious is like a dream state. So you don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's really a truthful message, not a truthful message. It's a mess going on. It's a mess over there. So, and the subconscious is involved with the da'at and involved with the chokhmah. So you have the subconscious in between the chokhmah and the da'at. So the chokhmah and the da'at can't talk to each other. They've got to go through the subconscious, and that's what meditation does. Meditation does, it makes a path through the subconscious to the chokhmah directly. That's what meditation should do. So the question now, where in the system is the inclinations? Where's the good and the bad? Right? So the Talmud says it's by the entrance lepetach hatat robetz. Rashi brings down over there that the Yetzer Hara and Yetzer Hatov are the two entrances of the heart, two ventricles of the heart. Which obviously, what is the heart? So Rambam says the heart. Whenever the Gemara says the heart, it's talking about the mind. The Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Hatov are in the mind. The heart is the mind. Okay. So let's discuss that. So this is very interesting. We're on page 80. And we're going to talk about the two inclinations. We started last week, we started talking about it. Rav Chaim Vital in Sharei Kedusha. So Rav Chaim Vital was the author of all the books of the Arizal. He wrote the books of the Arizal, basically. The Arizal never wrote any books. He wrote a Pizmon. He wrote some Pizmonim, Azameh B'Shvachim and others, right? But he never wrote his own Chidushim on Kabbalah. He never wrote. Arizal never wrote anything. Rav Chaim Vital wrote everything for him. The Shmona She'arim, the 8 gates of Chokhmah. So Rav Chaim Vital says, Rav Chaim Vital was 1542 to 1620. He says that the neshama, the divine soul, which comes from the Sfirot, right? The souls of Israel are created by the lower two, right? Zainuk, whatever the souls are created from them, from the Sfirot, have in them good and evil energies, which he calls angelic energies. Whatever that means, angelic energies. And the nature of these energies can best be examined by the term Yetzer. What does the word Yetzer mean? What's the word Yetzer from? And the answer, the word Yetzer is from the word to create. Yetzer. Yetzer or Borei Choshech, right? We say every morning Yetzer or Borei Choshech. We talk about Asher Yatzar et Ha'adam, right? The brachot of going to the bathroom, Asher Yatzar, that God created man. So Yud Tzadi Resh is an interesting word. It's Yetzer and it's also Yatzar. It's the word used for inclination. It's also the word used for creation, which is creation of something from something else, we said. Bore is creation of something from nothing. Yetzer is creation of something else. When it came to creation of man, God used the word Yetzer. Why? Because man was created from something else. The Adamah. Adam was from the Adamah. So it's Yetzer. So, but in Breshit, right? In Bereshit, in chapter 2, it says, Vayitzer et ha'adam. Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et ha'adam. Hashem Elokim created man, Vayitzer, with 2 yuds. Oh, what's these 2 yuds for? Okay. So that's our question. Why does it have 2 yuds? Okay, we're going to talk about it. So there's a beautiful Gemara. This is a Gemara in Brachot, of Samach Aleph. Hopefully we'll get there, eventually. I don't know when we're going to get there. We're doing Brachot on Tuesday nights, right? So we're going to get there in this Gemara. And the Gemara says, I'm just going to quote you the Gemara. This Gemara is in Daf Samach Aleph Amud Aleph, 61a in Brachot. Darash Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda. Rav Nachman, the son of Rav Chisda, learned. Why does it say, Vayitzer Hashem Elokim Ha'adam with 2 yuds? Katu b'shnei yudin. The Gemara's question. Why does it just say with 1 yud? Yitzer, creation is with 1 yud. Why does it have 2 yuds? Hashem created in man 2 inclinations. Echad Yetzer Tov, Echad Yetzer Ra. 2 Yud stand for 1 Yetzer Hatov, a good inclination, and the other one, the Yetzer Ra, which is the bad inclination. So the Gemara says, 1 second. Matkif la Rav Nachman bar Yitzhak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzhak asked the question on Rav Nachman, the son of Rav Chisda. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rav Nachman the son of Yitzchak, is asking a question, Rav Nachman bar Chisda. So you can see Nachman was a very popular name in those days, even before Breslov came along. So Rav Nachman, two Rav Nachmans over here. So he asked him a question. According to you, the two Yuds, we know by an animal, it doesn't say two Yuds by an animal. It says God created animals with one Yud. You mean animals don't have a Yetzer Hara? Yeah, that's his question. Don't they have a Yetzer Hara? The animals only have a Yetzer Hatov, only one Yud, only a Yetzer Hatov. And the maska v'nashka bata. We see animals, they damage and they bite and they kick. So how come they only have one Yud? You mean they only have a Yetzer? Ella, we see over here that what? He has a whole different spin on the two Yuds. Okay? Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, the Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi says, Oili mi yotzri, if I go after my Yetzer Hara, woe to me from my Creator. And if I will not go by my Yetzer Hara, oili mi yotzri, I will woe to me from my Yetzer Hara. So in other words, he says, it's not Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. It's Yetzer Hara and Hashem. Oili mi yotzri, oili mi yitzri. Woe to me from my Creator, woe to me from my Yetzer. I'm pulled in two directions. Not my evil inclination and good inclination, because everything has an evil inclination. In other words, even animals have evil inclination. That's one Yud. One Yud is the evil inclination. So why does man have an extra Yud? And the answer is the extra Yud is not to tell you have a good inclination. The extra Yud is to remind you of your Creator. Woe to me from my... It's amazing. It's a beautiful idea. Imagine a person says, I got a battle going on in myself. Woe to me if I don't follow my Yetzer Hara, because the Yetzer Hara was attacking me. And woe to me if I follow my Yetzer Hara, Hashem will attack me. Oh, yeah. Oili mi yotzri, oili mi yitzri. Wow. That's the second explanation. So first explanation the Gemara has is two Yuds. Why? Yetzer Hatov and Yetzer Hara. Second explanation the Gemara says two Yuds. Why? Yotzri and Yitzri. My Creator and my Yetzer Hara. Now we come to the third explanation of the Gemara. Inami, or also, can Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar. Like the explanation of Rabbi Yirmiyah, the son of Elazar, do. Adam Rishon was not one person. Adam Rishon was
two people.
How? Back to back. Adam and Chava were joined back to back like Siamese twins. So when it says Hashem created a woman from the Tzela, Tzela does not mean a rib. Tzela means a side of the Mishkan. It says Tzela Mishkan. Same word used. Tzela. Sadi Lamed Ayin. Tzela Mishkan is the side of the Mishkan. So Tzela. He created a woman from the Tzela. And Rashi brings down this Gemara over here that Adam and Chava were created back to back. Siamese twins, back to back. And Hashem separates, makes sense. He created a woman from a Tzela. So the answer is he separated them. They were created as one. Look at the language over here. It's very Kabbalistic over here. Let's see. Two paratzufs, two faces. Bara HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'Adam Rishon. In Adam Rishon, two faces. One in front, one in the back. Shemar says, Achor v'kedem sartani. David HaMelech says, you made me in the front and the back. In other words, the time he was created with two faces. And that's why it says two creations with two Yuds. One Yud for the creation of the man, one Yud for the creation of the woman. So we have three different opinions of what these two Yuds are from. So the Shari Kedusha is quoting one of these explanations. We have to understand that. There's three explanations of this idea, and then the Gemara goes into how did God create the woman. Hashem created this woman from the Tzela, and Rav and Shmuel had the big debate. One opinion says that he created a woman from this back part of the man who also had a face. And the other opinion says, I don't want to say what it says. You'll have to look it up yourself. It's pretty derogatory. Okay. So, we're talking about Chaim Vital. So the question we had, we said there's three parts to a person's consciousness. There's a consciousness, which is the da'at, which is a person that normal person has a da'at, through which whole flow of life goes through the da'at, and he understands things through his da'at. And then behind that is the subconscious, which you said is the bina, and behind that is chokhmah. And that's why it's very hard for the chokhmah to speak directly to you. Why? Because chokhmah is hidden behind the subconscious, which is the bina. So he's got to filter it through the Binah. And that's what meditation is for. Meditation is to get between the Da'at and the Chokhmah. If you can talk to your Chokhmah is your Neshama. Right? So that's the key. The key is to get through the subconscious. So now where does the Yetzer and the Yetzer Tov come into this? So that's our question. So now we have to understand is the Yetzer and the Yetzer Tov. What is the Yetzer? What is an evil inclination? Did God create something evil? Huh? No, of course not. What did God create? We created evil. What do you mean by evil? And the answer is, it can be used for good, and it can be used for evil. The word Ra can be written Ra, Resh, Ayin, or it can be written Ayin, Resh, Er. It's interesting, if you look at the people who know, they don't write in the books in Hebrew, the letters have numerical values, gematria. So you want to write down 270, you put Resh, Ayin. No, you don't put Resh, you put Ayin, Resh. You never write Ra in a book. At least those who do know what they're going on. Like you look the Ben Ish Chai, there's no Resh Ayin, it's Ayin Resh. You look in the Shulchan Aruch, it doesn't say Ayin Resh, it says Ayin Resh, not Resh Ayin. I said, what's going on over here? The answer is they don't write Ra in the book. So we see that Ra is not really Ra. It's Ra in one way, it's Ra, but it can go the other way. It's Er. Er means awake. Er means awake. So what's going on over here? What is this Yetzer Hara? And the answer, we said the Yetzer Hara is the desire to survive. Keeps us going. Desire to survive. So it's a mixture of good energy and bad energy, reflected in its value and numerical value. The gematria of Ra, is that right? Of Tahor and Tameh. So how much is the gematria of Tahor? Let's work it out. Tet is 9. Hey is 5, that's 14. 14 and 6 is 20. 220. Tahor is 220. Tameh is 40. And 10 is 50. 50 and 220 is Ra. 270. Amazing. Tahor and Tameh together, defiled and clean together, spell out the word Ra. So what is Ra? Ra is a mixture of Tahor and Tameh. In other words, there's not pure evil. There's no such thing as pure evil. Hashem does not create pure evil. There's always mixtures of evil. So some things are much more evil than good. We call that evil. Some things are mixture, half-half. Not so bad. And some people are, more good than bad, Tahor. As we call them pure. As the Rambam says, right? Sadiq, what is the difference between Sadiq and Rasha? You have more good deeds, Sadiq. More bad deeds, Rasha. But is a person evil? No. It's his deeds which are evil. It's a mixture. We are mixtures. So even the evil is not pure evil. It's mixtures. So the Yetzer Hara is really the impulse to survive. The Yetzer Hara is the impulse to survive, created through living in this world. Anything in this world who's alive needs a will to live. So every animal has this will to live, and that's what we call Ra. Ra is air. I want to live. I want to live. And Ra is the gematria of Tahor and Tameh together. Amazing. 270 Tahor plus Tameh, 270. Amazing. What a gematria. What a powerful gematria. So that's what it means. Air means awake, participating in life. When you're awake, you're participating in life. So Ra is really the gift that God gave us to want to live. The only trouble is when you want to live, it's at someone else's expense. Right? How? So I want to live as a kid. I got to wake my mother up. I got to trouble my father, trouble my mother, trouble my brothers, my sisters. They give me a life. So it's at someone else's expense. That's Ra. That's why it's called Ra. It's air. It's the will to live. But the will to live, you always have to bother people. Unfortunately, it's tragic, right? You can't imagine a person says, what? I don't accept favors. But it's a bother. The guy's sick. Who's going to look after him? He needs a favor from someone. Hopefully his wife, whatever, his children. But sometimes there's no one around. What do? You call 911. What are you going to do? You need a favor. That's evil. You're taking from someone else. And the answer is you have no choice. It's minimized easy. Hashem wants you to live. So it's a minimum of evil. But you have to try and give it back. So don't worry, they'll charge you. Don't worry. You pay it back. It's not like you get a freebie. But some people, they give. They're givers. Some people are givers and they give, and you take and you give, and they give you. They give you. It's nice. But that's evil. Evil is just taking and taking and taking. No gift back. Why am I taking? I'm taking because I want to live. So the person comes for tzedakah. He wants to live. Why does he come for tzedakah? Because he wants to live, right? He wants to live. We're going to talk about this. It's a tremendous musar. So can you imagine the humiliation of putting your hand out? Some people don't get humiliated, but they should. They get humiliated of putting your hand out and going to someone and saying, can you give me? I'm sure a person does it often enough, they forget that. But it's humiliation. It really is humiliation. So why did they put their hand out? Because they want to live. They want to live. So Yisrael Salanta says, I should say the same thing with spirituality. I need that spirituality to live. If we would put our spirituality on par with our physicality, a person says, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I need to eat. Halavai, we would use that as also in spiritual world as well. Say, listen, I can't live without this spirituality. There were people like that, very few and far between, who say, I can't, without that little spirituality, I can't live, I can't make it through the day, I need that spirituality. Halavai would make that. Okay. So beautiful idea over here. What is the Yetzer Hara? Yetzer Hara is a mixture of Tameh and Tahor. It's good if it's air. It's used for life, and it can be Ra as well when it becomes narcissistic. Sorry, did I say it right? Narcissistic, right? Narcissistic. So what's a narcissistic? Means I'm self-centered, totally self-centered. All I care about is myself. All I care about is my pleasures. So my idea is Yetzer Hara. What's the Yetzer Hara? Yetzer Hara is to keep you alive. Okay, it's all my life now. But then all I think about is myself, and that's the Yetzer Hara. That's why a child has a Yetzer Hara before the Yetzer Hatov, because children don't think of others until they get to the age of bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah depends also on the upbringing. That's the job of the parent, is to teach the children there's other people in the world they have to think about as well, not just yourself. So, the Yetzer Hara, now it's interesting, the Yetzer, these two Yetzers, now think of the word, Yetzer, inclination, comes from the word to create. What's the connection between creation and inclination? And the answer is because the inclinations are developing as well. Whereas it's not something static. A person's Yetzer is not static. Amazing idea. A person's Yetzer Hatov is never static. It says, Kol HaGadol Mechavero Yitzro Gadol Emeru. Whoever's greater than his friend, his Yetzer Hara, just screw with him. In other words, the greater a person becomes, the bigger the Yetzer Hara becomes. It's not something static, so it's a work in progress. That's why it's called a Yetzer, which is formation. It's being formed all the time. And same thing, Yetzer Hatov. The more a person does good, the Rambam says, the more they do good. Mitzvah, scham, mitzvah, mitzvah. The reward of a mitzvah is another mitzvah. He's going to be better and better. Therefore, the Yetzer Hatov is also developing. Sometimes they're regressing. Sometimes they're developing. Sometimes the Yetzer Hara is getting bigger. Sometimes the Yetzer Hara gets smaller. It depends on the day of the week. On Shabbat, the Yetzer Hara may be smaller for some people. I know for myself, it's smaller. You have no TV, you have no radio, you have no internet, you have no phone. All you can do is fight with your wife. That's all you can do on Shabbat. Right? You don't want to do that on Shabbat.
No fighting.
No fighting. Asur.
No.
I'm just saying, there's different kinds of Yetzer Hara, different days of the week. Yom Kippur, or Yetzer Hara, if you're here in the shul all day, the only Yetzer Hara could be you may want to talk to your friend. How many Yetzer Haras are there? You know what I mean? You can't eat, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're stuck in there. That's it. So it depends on the day of the week. It's amazing. The Yetzer Hara also depends on the day of the week. If it's a vacation time, it may be worse, the Yetzer Hara. If it's not vacation time, people are work and they maybe keep them out of mischief. So it depends on the day of the week. So the Yetzer, why is it called the Yetzer? Because it's an act of creation every second. The Yetzer Hara is not static. It's amazing. The Yetzer Hatov is not static and the Yetzer Hara is not static. It's called the Yetzer because it's totally under formation all the time. Wow. That's brilliant. Isn't that brilliant? What a word. You can't use a static word. It's not right, it's more a static word. Yetzer is not static. Yetzer is formation. It's created, it's being. It's a work in progress. And that's the pshat of Rabbi Twersky. He always says, Naaseh. Hashem says, let us make man. Naaseh Hadam. What do we mean, Naaseh? So who's he talking to? So everyone, Rashi says, he's talking to the angels. Let us make man in plural. He's asking permission from the angels. We learn from there, a good manager should always ask his subordinates what they think. That's Rashi. However, Rav Twersky has another spin. He says, let us make man is also part of his formation. Hashem's talking to man. Let us make man. You have to also be part of making yourself. Because you are working on your Yetzer, you are creating your inclinations. You are forming your inclinations. So if you're forming good inclinations, you become a good person. If you're forming bad inclinations, you become a bad person. You are in the process of creation as well. Very beautiful. The first time this noun, now Yetzer is used as a verb. When it's used as a noun? The Yetzer Hara is a noun. We refer to the Yetzer as a noun. Yetzer is the name of something. It's the name of the Yetzer, of the inclination. But in the Torah before that, it's always used as a verb. I'm creating. Hashem is creating. Hashem is creating. So where does it use as a noun? The first time it's used as a noun, Yetzer machshavot libo rak kol hayom. In the Parsha Noach, it talks about when the flood, before the Mabul. The person's mind, the product of his mind was evil the whole day. The only time it's used as a noun, the first time it's used as a noun is in a bad term. Yetzer is evil. So what is this Yetzer? Yetzer machshavot libo. It's not talking about the. It says the Yetzer machshavot libo. The Yetzer of it, the thoughts of his head. What are the Yetzers? What's the Yetzer then? The creation of his thoughts are evil all the time. It's not saying his Yetzer is evil. It's saying the create. If you read it, it's amazing. The Yetzer implies the product of thought. His product of his thought is evil all the time. In other words, both the Yetzer is developed through thought and focus. Amazing. How does a person's Yetzer develop? The good inclination develops through having good thoughts, and the bad inclination develops having bad thoughts. Very blind. And that's why it's so important what stimuli a person sees. You'll put judges and police in all your gates. What gates? The Arizal says all your senses, the 5 senses. Right? Before you see something, make sure you judge it. Have a judge over there and have a policeman. You got the guard over there. Stop the eyes. It's very powerful. The eyes are very powerful to create more Yetzer. And the Yetzer goes through the eyes, goes through the senses. The person, wow, nice perfume. Who's wearing that perfume? Let's see. Perfume. Okay. So it encourages someone. So again, a person's going to put a limit over there. Hearing, right? It's hear Lashon Hara. You're going to put limits over there. It's bad talk. What kind of speech are they talking about? Bad, let me move away a little bit. Okay? So that's the Yetzer develops through our thoughts and our focuses. Whether through actual thinking or just by thinking without even thinking. Right? A person daydreams during the day. Walter Mitty, right? Anyone know Walter Mitty? So they dream, a person dreams. So dreams during the day. Daydreaming. So what are you dreaming about? So it says, I'm not going to tell you what men normally think about. There's 2 things men always think about. One of them is money. The other one I'm not going to talk about. But that's what people think about all the time. It's like constant. It's like a natural thing. But that is encouraging the more Yetzirah. That's why a person is called, that's what Ben Lagan says many times, right? The pit was empty. What's inside the pit? Snakes and scorpions. If a person's mind is empty, it's automatically full of garbage. Automatically. It's automatic. It's amazing. That's why we have to fill our minds with Torah. That's what we're doing. Listen to Torah, hear Torah, learn Torah. So if the person's mental choices that we're thinking, that influences our Yetzer. Amazing. This is powerful. Yetzer machshavot libo. The products of the thoughts of their hearts are evil all the day. Yetzer machshavot. So we see the Yetzer is what produces the thoughts. And the thoughts influence the Yetzer. But sometimes it's just the thoughts without the Yetzer. The Yetzer is not involved because if you're sitting in front of a TV, you're not really thinking. So it's not a product of your thoughts. Product of someone else's Yetzer. That's the problem with being a Hollywood director. They get a lot of averot, I tell you, these guys. A lot of all these sins on their head. And it should be on their head, because they deserve it. They're evil people. Showing evil things to multitudes of people. Can you imagine? Showing violence and other things. Well, says the average child, by the age of 18, has seen 18,000 murders. On TV. 18,000 murders, and a lot of them are in cartoons. It's amazing. So in cartoons, you see Tom and Jerry, always hitting each other and smacking each other and killing each other. The Talmud says, the Yetzirah starts when the child comes out of the womb. Because that's the struggle for survival. The struggle for survival is the Yetzirah. It's the Yetzer, we said it's air. It's not bad, it's just air. It wants to stay alive. That's Hashem gave us this gift. If Hashem would not have given us the gift of staying alive, we wouldn't be alive today. Very simple. A person would just wake up and say, oh God, don't trouble my mummy, I'm going back to sleep. I can't trouble anyone. What would a person do if he can't trouble anyone? He won't be able to live. No life. So that is the Yetzer. We need that Yetzer. We need the struggle to live, to battle against adversity is the Yetzer. The energy and the essence of the Yetzer. Look at it. Look at today's society, right? If you have a big sale in Macy's or whatever, Apple comes out with a new product. 2 blocks around the store, people are camped outside. That was the first iPhone, right? It was the first one, second one, third one. And then it sort of wore out a bit. But they have the new one coming out, i8, the iPhone 8, and it's a big leap. It's not such a micro, it's a big leap apparently, I don't know. But would I camp outside for 2 weeks outside of the Apple store to get an i8? No, I wouldn't do it. But you see the Yetzer Hara over here. The power of the Yetzer is they camp. It can make a person do crazy things for what? For garbage. And look at the power of the Yetzer Tov. How many people camp outside the shul for Yom Kippur? Have you ever seen anyone camping outside, waiting outside? I know two people who sat outside the shul, and they both passed away. Unfortunately, best people. Mamrud was one of them. His sons sometimes come. He used to sit outside the shul. Before Slichot, he was waiting, 5:30, he's sitting outside. Hara does that sometimes. Sitting out, sure, come on, it's great, isn't that great? He says, how come, where's it? It's not 6 o'clock yet. Yeah, but where? 5:30, people should be here. So, yeah, that is the Yetzer Tov, but you see the power today, the power of the Yetzer Tov and the power of Yetzer. Yetzer has tremendous power. Yetzer has tremendous power. People go to a ball game and they stand in line. I don't understand. How do you do that? I would never stand in line for anywhere. Standing in line in the bank is bad enough for me. I go, I hate waiting at a traffic light. Come on, you're standing in a ball game waiting for 3 hours to get in, parking, and then coming home. Oh, God, forget about it. But the Yetzer says, you know, I want to see the ball game. I'm so interested. I'm so for what? To see a human being, a grown-up man hit a ball. Makes sense. And they get paid tremendous amounts of money. You see the power of the Yetzer? They get paid to hit a ball. It's a big chokhmah to hit a ball. And the teacher is teaching children is get paid peanuts. And the surgeon is getting paid much less than the guy hitting the ball. This is our society. So the Yetzer is necessary for physical survival. But its desire, the trouble when it takes over, is just pure pleasure. So, okay, we need some pleasure to survive, but it doesn't just end there. That's the trouble. It doesn't end there. Yetzer takes over and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Oh, more pleasure, more pleasure. It seeks more self-awareness through the senses. Left to its own devices, it can trigger all sorts of ego-fulfilling behavioral tendencies. However, through learning experiences, we can refine and channel this primal urge to desire for spiritual self-awareness. So our mission really is not to destroy the Yetzer. Our mission is Barati Yetzer, Barati Torah Tavlin. Mistranslated. I created the Yetzer, Hashem says, and I created the Torah as a spice. Ooh, not an antidote. Usually translated as an antidote. It's not an antidote. The Torah is a tavlin, a spice, to make the Yetzer edible by us. Makes it palatable for us. What do you mean palatable? It means for us to be able to manipulate it. If you could manipulate Yetzer, you just tamed that wild horse inside you. You have much more power now. Wow. Because if you just have a Yetzer Tov, the Yetzer Tov is limited. Like, how much can I push you? Right? But the Yetzer is like the difference between going to a rabbi's class and going to a concert of, I don't know who, Rolling Stones, I don't know. Energy. Man, Meshugayim. They're jumping all over the thing. You can't compare the two, can you? The rabbi doesn't jump around, he doesn't entertain, he doesn't...
Some rabbis do.
Some rabbis do, maybe. I don't know. They don't have a big microphone. They have strobes, lights, and flashing, and this and that. Yeah, these guys are flashing. Look at the power of the Yetzer. They're jumping around. They want people to go mad. They're all in trance state. The rabbi's talking about sleeping. This guy, they're all jumping around. See how powerful the Yetzer is? If we can harness that Yetzer, you're harnessing that wild animal inside you to do good. That's the power of the Yetzer. That's what we have to do. So a person has to learn, and through our learning experiences, we can refine and channel this primal urge to a desire for spiritual self-awareness. That's the trick. The trick is to use that Yetzer. It's a very powerful tool to use it for good. Take that wild horse and train it to do good. And then you have a very powerful thing at your disposal, because it's much more powerful than the Yetzer Tov. The drive can be altered. That's the thing. That's the trick. The trick is to alter the drive, to make it a tavlin, to make the Yetzer, the Torah as a tavlin, to be able to digest that Yetzer. Profoundly, the Arizal says, okay, the Arizal always talks about husks, the kali. In Hebrew it's klipa. I don't want to say the word klipa. Kabbalists don't say the word klipa, they say kali. Kali for sure. It's okay? So it's a husk. So inside you have the Yetzer Tov, right? Inside the Yetzer Tov you have the neshama. You have the neshama. Around the neshama is a peel called the Yetzer Tov. And around the Yetzer Tov is the Yetzer Hara. And around the Yetzer Hara is the nefesh. And around the nefesh is the blood that keeps the nefesh alive. That's the system of the Arizal. So let's do that again. The neshama is the core. What keeps a person alive is their soul. So you imagine like a tree. The inside, right inside your brain is the neshama is coming into your brain. It keeps the soul comes into the brain, right? Around the soul is the Yetzer Hatov. And it's very linked to the soul. Around the Yetzer Hatov is the husk around it. There's like a peel to get to the fruit. But the job of the peel is, it's a shomer. It guards the fruit. What guards the good is the evil. Not evil, we said it's a mixture. Because without that evil, the guy would not be alive. So what's guarding us is that Yetzer Hara is guarding the person. And outside that Yetzer Hara is the nefesh, which is the low part of the soul, which is the ability to stay alive. And beyond that is the body, basically. Amazing. So neshama, inside, Yetzer Hatov, Yetzer Hara, nefesh, blood. Well, body. Right? So he says, the Arizal says, the Yetzer Hara is the husk of the Yetzer Hatov, like the peel of the fruit. The Yetzer Hara, the urges of the body, exist to serve the Yetzer Hatov and protect it. Imagine a person says, you know what, I'm going to go without food for 4 days. I want to be holy. I want to be like Moshe Rabbi. Let's go 40 days without food. How long is that person going to survive? A week. Because of food or water? Water. It's impossible. So come on, it's coming from the Yetzer Hatov. The Yetzer Hatov says, don't eat, don't drink. Yeah, be an angel, become an angel. The Yetzer Hara says, 1 second, you're going to be an angel, you're going to be a dead angel. So we have to stay alive. So you need the Yetzer Hara to keep a person alive. It's a guard of the fruit. It's the guardian of the Yetzer Hatov. Keeps the Yetzer Hatov going. If a person conducts themselves properly, and this is a famous Rambam, we're doing this on Sunday mornings with the women. Hilchot Deot. Famous Rambam, that a person's got to have both. You've got to find the middle of the road. It's not good to go into extremes. You just do that, right? A person shouldn't be a monk in a monastery and not get married and not have children, not wear nice clothes and not have a nice house. It's the opposite of Judaism. Why? Where did you learn it from? From a Nazir. A Nazir, when he finishes his being a Nazirite, he has to bring a korban. Which korban does he bring? A sin offering. Why does he have a sin offering? Because he abstained from wine, which is allowed. It's enough the Torah forbids. We don't have to increase. A person shouldn't be an extremist. We need to stay alive. A person conducts themselves properly, making the right moral choices and fulfilling Hashem's will, the Yetzer Hara will help and strengthen the Yetzer Hatov. Wow! Adding its own energy to the Yetzer Hatov. So when it says David HaMelech killed his Yetzer Hara, what does it mean he killed his Yetzer Hara? He transformed the Yetzer Hara into his Yetzer Hatov. He didn't kill it. He changed it. That's how you kill it. You know, we need to kill the Yetzer Hara. You shouldn't kill the Yetzer Hara because the Yetzer Hara is the most energy, gives you the most energy. A person without Yetzer Hara will be dead. What happens, it says, the animals never had children. The chickens stopped laying eggs. You can't live without Yetzer Hara. You'll do nothing. You won't go to work. You won't go to work. You won't get married. You won't build a house. You have no Yetzer Hara. There's no desire. But use that desire, manipulate it, make that desire part of the Yetzer Hatov. Then you'll do everything in a good way. That's the idea. That's the idea, because the zest comes from the Yetzer Hatov. Amazing. So the Yetzers are spiritual forces created to help us. Their purpose is to care for the divine soul, to assist it in its work with the physical. The Yetzer is not evil, it's a required ingredient of man's existence. It's a force created by the soul's will to be, helping it thrive within the material plane. So without the Yetzer, person will not thrive in the material plane, because the soul is totally spiritual and the body is physical, and how do I get that soul to think physically? Without the Yetzer, the soul will not be able to think physically. The soul will not think about food. The soul will not think about drink. The soul will not think about clothing. The soul will not think about having children. The soul will not think about going to work. So what brings the soul back down to earth is the Yetzer Hara.
One question, Rabbi.
Go ahead.
You mentioning that it feel like an onion, right?
No, I didn't say onion. I didn't say that's you're saying onion. You're saying onion.
My thing is, I was thinking like that. But
Yeah.
like you say neshama,
Yeah.
and then the Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara, and then you say nefesh. Maybe the Yetzer is the ruach.
No, Chas v'shalom.
No, but you know where.
We're just generalizing right now.
Oh, generally.
We're generalizing. You're not exact. This is not exact. This is just a generalization. Because don't forget, we're trying to get to the point where we can see we're trying to get from, let's see what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to meditation. What is meditation? We said to break through the subconscious to get to the neshama. Mm-hmm. And what's in between? The bina. There's other things there as well. And that's where the Yetzer Tov are. So it's not just getting through the bina, it's also, we got to see where is, in this system, where is the Yetzer Tov. So we said it's around the neshama. Because you're not just going through the bina, you're also going through the Yetzarim. You have to break through. It's like big barriers over here. So as just like salt preserves meat, the Yetzer Hara preserves and cares for the living organism. As the horse helps the rider, the Yetzer Hara enables interaction with this world. Like salt, it has to be applied in the right measure. Like a horse, it's got to be controlled. But the Yetzer Hara is not controlled, the Gemara says, a person does not sin unless nichnas bo ruach shtut, a spirit of foolishness falls into it. What does that mean, foolishness? Foolishness only takes hold of the Yetzer Hara's narcissistic nature. And that's what makes it gain the upper hand. So if this force goes overboard, if the person tastes fruit, the Yetzer Hara becomes drawn to, then self-expression, that's the fruit of the tree, knowledge of good and evil. That's the fruit. Fruit is something which the Yetzer Hara tastes. He says, wow, I want more of this. I want more of this. I'm physical. I want all the physical desires because my physical desire was just turned on. My physical desire was turned on. That's the fruit of the Yetzer Hara, the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. The Yetzer Hara gets turned on because now, oh wow, I never knew this. Before I was innocent, but now I know it. That's the fruit. That's what I want. That's what I want. So from the verse, Yetzer machshavot libo, the products of the thoughts of the heart. We see that what the Yetzerim, both the Yetzerim, the Yetzer Hatov and the Yetzer Hara are linked, are connected to the thoughts of the heart and mind. Both Yetzers use emotive imagery to influence the thinking Chokhmah mind. And the Yetzer Hara starts with fantasy and emotion. The Yetzer Hatov closer to the Neshama with intellect. Thus, by regular use of positive imagery, may counteract, train, or transform the Yetzer Hara. So that's what we're going to talk about: how to use imagery to transform ourselves. That's what meditation is all about. To use the imagery to think about certain things that can transform us. So a person sees good things and thinks good things and learns Torah and good things, they're transforming their Yetzer. A person sees bad things, they're making the Yetzer even bigger. Okay. All right. So it's interesting because the boundary between the conscious and the subconscious, which is called the conscious critical faculty, in a young mind has not really matured. And therefore a child is often in a semi-trance state, open to suggestion influences. The fertile mind is recording, readjusting, ingraining habits, reactions, and responses based on the senses experiences in the heart-mind imagery. His behavior veers to the egotistical because this is the inner mind. This is the child. It's not developed yet. The choices are strongly influenced by the physical senses. That's why the rabbis say the child only has a Yetzer Hara. And each time he acts on his inclination, he increases the energy of the Yetzer Hara. But when he does good things, I think you've got to force a kid to do good things. The kid naturally, very few kids naturally do good. You know, that's a famous book, right? Lord of the Flies, right? Mm-hmm. They put the kids on a desert island, right?
Boys.
Only boys. I'm sorry. Very sorry. Only boys. They put the boys on the desert island, and they end up eating one of the others, right? They turn into cannibals. Why? You know, it's a powerful message that we're not naturally good.
I got the couch.
Judaism says we're not naturally good. We are naturally innocent. We're innocent. We're not good. We're both. And we say as children have more of a Yetzer Hara than they're egotistical. They're into themselves. So people think, you know, that's one of the biggest misconceptions that today's society has. One of the biggest disasters. Someone keeps on saying this is Dennis Prager. One of the biggest mistakes public school system is that children are not naturally good. Wrong! Not naturally good. They're naturally innocent, but they're not naturally good. Okay, so it's interesting. Christianity came to them the other way. Original sin. We're all guilty. Judaism says, no, you're not all guilty. You're all innocent. We're not held responsible for what other people did. The child doesn't die for the sins of his fathers, right? Normally. But we're innocent, but we're more prone to evil because we have this Yetzer Hara. We're more prone to evil. What would happen if all the girls were on the desert island?
Same thing.
Build a utopia.
Exactly.
Okay. Be good. Let's do it. An experiment. Should do an experiment, but it's hard to do that experiment. All right. So, what are Elohim Acherim? This is a very, very powerful idea over here. So the Torah says, what do we say in the Shema? What do we say? V'avdu Elohim Acherim, And what is Hashem going to do? Haraf Hashem. Hashem's going to go crazy. They're going to serve other gods, and Hashem goes crazy. You serve other gods, Hashem goes crazy. So, Elohim Acherim, other gods. And we believe in the holy God. It's two different things. So that's, where does the other gods come from? And the answer, it comes from the imagery of the mind. The other gods. So the imagery of the mind is feeding the Yetzer. So what came first, the Yetzer or the imagery of the mind? That's the question. What comes first? So a person looks at the world and says, there's a sun, there's a moon, there's a stars, there's so many different powers in the world. So each power must have their own energy, and therefore each one must have their own God, in a sense. So you're feeding into the system by thinking, and then the brain manipulates all the evidence and comes out with its own logic. So what comes first, the Yetzer or the thoughts? So thoughts can feed the brain and can feed the Yetzer. Rabbi Nachman says that the Yetzer he defines as the power of fantasy. He says through the power of fantasy you can arrive at evil, and the power of fantasy you can arrive at good. You can fantasize about good things. It's amazing. Right? Can you imagine imagination? A fantasy about making this world a better place. A person fantasizes, how tikkun olam. Let's fix this whole world. Can you imagine Yeshayahu Navi? It's all fantasy. Think about Yeshayahu Navi, right? They'll beat their plows. They'll beat their swords into plowshares. No nation will lift up a sword on another nation. Halavai. Can you imagine using all that money for military hardware? Look at what's going on in the world. Crazy lunatics. They're going to blow each other up. They're going to blow us up. All of us. All of us are going to be blown up. Hydrogen bombs. This guy's lunatic has a hydrogen bomb. And he's got a missiles as well to send them over. Boy. What's going to happen? Hold everyone in suspense. Hold your breath. Scary stuff. So what happened over here? And the answer is because they're not thinking enough about good things. Think about utopia. Can you imagine? Yeshayahu Navi gives us this image of utopia. Can you imagine? Think about it. Who gave the world an image of a utopia? A Jewish prophet. Where did he get it from? From God. God. This is God's idea, God's vision of utopia. This is heaven and earth. Heaven and earth is where nations will get along under the kingship of God. Tikkun olam b'malchut Shaddai. So if we think about that enough, and some people do think about it. Some people are trying to better the world. Some people are trying to make the world a better place. On the other hand, you have lunatics who all they think about is their own ego. That's the Yetzer. The Yetzer turns into narcissistic. Just my power, my glory, my this, my desire, my that. Dictator. He's totally against this utopia idea. Because his idea of utopia is the whole world under my control. That's my idea of utopia. So can you imagine the fantasies now leading to strengthening the Yetzer Hatov or strengthening the Yetzer Hara? So things a person thinks about, can you imagine, it's not just, I didn't do anything, I just thought. No, your thoughts something. Your thoughts are the things that feed. That's why it's called the Yetzer, because it's being formed. It's the act of formation. I'm forming my own Yetzer. How do I form my Yetzer? By manipulating what I'm looking at and thinking of that and making it bad in my head and having bad images in my head. I'm forming my Yetzer. And how do I form my Yetzer Hatov? By having good thoughts and making my Yetzer Hatov stronger. So the imagination influences both Yetzers. They can influence behavioral development. And thoughts, we said, are very, very powerful because they affect even the higher realms. So can you imagine? Your thinking is affecting the higher worlds, and the higher worlds are influencing the lower worlds. So you just create a chain reaction. It's what's called a vicious cycle. Right? Your thoughts are affecting higher worlds, so they're good thoughts, they're affecting good, beautiful things. And they're bringing down beautiful energies. You're affecting the higher worlds with bad thoughts, you're affecting the higher worlds with bad energies, and you're bringing down bad energies into the world. So, an effective way, and this is a very nice meditation right here, an effective way to overcome the Yetzer Hara is to imagine seeing yourself in a good behavioral mode and enjoying it. Enjoying being good. You view yourself giving out tzedakah, and you say, wow, really, I'm enjoying this, giving out tzedakah. It's fantastic, because I'm a giver, not a taker. There's a guy who went to the Kotel. Where did he come from? Argentina? He wasn't religious at all. He just went to Kotel, took out $100 bills and started giving them out. Multi-million, obviously. Yeah. $100 bills, and there'd be a whole line of people ready to take. It's not hard to find takers, He was standing over there, he had a long ponytail, a little small kippah, and he's giving out, okay. Don't ask questions. They'll take. No problem. I can imagine you being the one who's giving out dollar bills. Oh, that's great, that idea. I want to give to other people. I just want to give to other people. That's great. That's a great thing, you know, and enjoying it, not just giving out and saying, but enjoying the act of giving. That's powerful imagery. But I said, you know what, I want to be in the shul all day in Yom Kippur. I'm enjoying it. I really do enjoy it. So the person thinks I'm enjoying it, you're just helping your Yetzer Hatov. You're just building up your Yetzer Hatov. You're knocking your Yetzer Hara. Because the Yetzer says, no, but it's bad. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. I'm imagining it as something really good. Imagine the experience of coming to shul as something really good and something I enjoy so much, and you'll be one of the first ones there, for sure, guaranteed. Happened to me. It happened to me. It took a while, but it happened to me. I was around 17, 18 when I really started taking shul seriously. Really, I say, well, listen, if there's a God and I'm worshipping God, just let me do it properly. Why am I playing games? Why should I come late? Imagine me coming late. You believe in God. God is there waiting for you, and I come late. And He's my creator, and I come in late. Ribono shel olam, He's the master of the universe. It's very hard. It's a very hard. So then Yetzer Hara is saying to yourself, yeah, you don't enjoy it. It's not good. You come a bit later. You can't sit through the whole service. It's too long. So when you're telling yourself, you're increasing the Yetzer Hara. But if you say, but I enjoy every second of the time, and I get credit for it every time, I'm so enjoyable, of course you're going to be there from the beginning to the end. So this meditative technique is advocated by Rabbi Yisrael Salanta. He says this is part of the service of the heart. To serve God with all your heart. How do you serve God with your heart? By serving God with your imagination. Wow, that's powerful. Imagine. How many people talk about serving God with your imagination? How do you serve God with your imagination? By imagining good things to be good and beneficial for you and pleasurable for you. And then you're increasing your Yetzer Hatov. But if you imagine good things to be bad for you and hard for you, and then you'll never do it. Very simple. Okay, this is a very old book. Sefer HaMaspik. Sefer HaMaspik advises. One should use one's imagination to imagine scenes that inspire enthusiasm in divine worship. This is amazing. I don't know who wrote this book, Sefer HaMaspik. Okay, I gotta look it up. Sefer HaMaspik. So he says a person should use their imagination to encourage themselves. I can do it. You know, one of the most powerful books for kids is The Little Engine That Could. You know what's good about it is you can write it as well because there's no copyrights. Anyone can make another edition, right? You can make another edition and be a bestseller because it is a bestseller. Little Engine That Could. You have nice pictures over there. Thomas the Tank Engine. I can do it. So how does that work? And the answer is, if you really think you can do it, you can do it. It's suggestive in your mind, and the same thing with the Yetzer Hatov. But it says, I love mitzvot, I like doing mitzvot, I can do it mitzvot, and I enjoy it. You're going to do it for sure. That increases the Yetzer. That's why it's called the Yetzer, because you're working, you're forming your Yetzer. You are forming it, you're making it bigger. So a very, very powerful idea. So what is the Yetzer? The Yetzer is the inclination. What is the inclination? Why is the word a Yetzer? Because Yetzer means formation. You're actually forming your own Yetzer. That's powerful. And what helps you to form your Yetzer? Your imagination is the vehicle by which you talk to your Yetzer. Now, we said before, so let's just recap. So you're talking to your Yetzer by imagining things. So you imagine holy things are good and helpful and desirable and pleasurable. You just increase your Yetzer Hatov. And you knock your Yetzer Hara. You just imagine that bad things are good and I want this and I desire this and I desire this. You're increasing your Yetzer Hara, you're knocking your Yetzer Hatov. You're forming them, they're moving, you're manipulating them. And then we said the thoughts not just stay in this world, the thoughts go up to the highest levels because they're neshama are your thoughts. You're going up to the highest levels of the world. And therefore you're creating good energies of the world above and it's coming down again as good energies, or you're creating bad energies of the world above and you're bringing down bad energies. Okay, we're going to stop here. So Be'ez Hashem, we'll all create good energies. We need to do it now before